Good morning and welcome to my garden. I hope you're all having a wonderful day and your gardens are doing well. We'll do a quick run through because it's raining. Here we have our celery coming. We see that nice celery coming right there. And look at these onions. We've pulled some of our early onions, but look at them guys coming. Just some wonderful red onions here. We've had a little rain. We had 2 centimeters of rain. It's raining now. We're over 30 behind, so it's not going to break the drought, but it helps. Our dill here is just really coming nice. This stuff must have really shot up overnight. We have this volunteer potato, and earlier I was out and I pulled some dirt over because we have this. You see it? Little potatoes coming. There's a nicer one there. Some little potatoes forming. We want to keep them covered. We don't want them to get green. But that's just off a potato peel. We have some broccoli here. This is a primary head. This plant is the only one left that didn't have it's already hasn't been harvested at least once. The lettuce is out, and we have some small long beans coming. Asparagus beans right there. They're coming. And there's a whole row in here. They just aren't all up yet. They'll be taking over. In this bed, we see our watermelon seedlings. They're starting to jump. We have added these strings for them to climb. We'll be pruning and running them up here, hanging our fruit and sacks off of this. And they'll be taking up the space as these bunching onions and carrots and beets and parsnips come out. They will take up the space. Some balloon flower. These over here we have dug our garlic. And there's an earlier video on digging garlic, showing us lifting garlic. Did not shoot one this year. These onions here will not get much bigger. They're just about ready to be harvested. And we have planted okra in between. This bed will be taken over by the okra as the onions come out. And our sweet potatoes, they have really taken off. This is their later ones. Here we have our kidney beans. I have a recipe calls for some immature kidney beans, not hard dried. So I put a few kidney beans. And our peanuts, they're coming. You can see they're going quite well. These cabbage are coming, and I mean they jumped. Just overnight they have jumped. That cool rain just makes things. You cannot replace rain with irrigation. It's just not the same. Our cucumbers, getting ready to climb up here. They're in this pot. These are a short vines variety. They'll climb up this old net wrap off of a hay bale. Our earlier sweet potatoes, they're running, and our snow peas, just look at that. Ain't that a beauty? They're just better than they've been all season, just because of that little bit of rain. Just seems to jump them. Here we have one of them Kershaw squashes. It's jumping up this here string. We'll prune some of the bottom leaves off so it doesn't shade our parsnips here. And we'll be planting more parsnips later. We'll prune these bottom leaves off as this thing goes up, and we'll get all the Kershaws that we need off of this, and we will have parsnips to boot. Our early carrots. Our spinach didn't do very good. Spring spinach. You see our sweet maize. It's really going. Our summer squash have just jumped. We have our kale and mustard, kohlrabi and bok choy down there. It's jumping. We can't cover everything. But look at these nice big cabbages forming. And they're just barely starting to form heads. These are going to be some monsters if the weather continues to let them develop. We really want some really nice cabbage. It looks like we're going to have them despite the drought. Here we have some cantaloupes and muskmelons. We have both. You see they're here. We have our strings up to be trellised up, and they will be run up the strings. Our tomatoes, they are taking off. And I mean, we have this here as some more of our coals, cabbages, our leeks, They are really looking good. We can start using these anytime we want. These red cabbage, I mean, look at that. They're going to be a nice red cabbage. There. Artichokes. Everything has just jumped. These volunteer squashes here. In this bunching onions, we'll use these bunching onions out of here. They were later planted. They're not as big as those others. They're not going to get as big, but we'll use them out to give these squash room. Here our gladiolas are coming nice. Here we'll get a quick shot of our bok choy. Here it's nice, ready to use. Some of it is going to seed. Our kohlrabi, mustard, and kale. And here we have some little sweet potatoes. From a potato that got thrown out that was no good. We have all these little sets we can set out. But that's just a quick update on our garden. Here our little pond for our toads. Our minnows, they're really just having a blast in this weather. And as always, have a wonderful day. Get out there, get your hands dirty. Hit the like, the subscribe, leave a comment, and above all, just keep growing.